game comes with a great licensed soundtrack, as before, but 20, 30 tracks is never going to cut it for the millions of levels that have now been published. So we started thinking about how to do music and give the players a LittleBigPlanet level of control. And what was really interesting was, we realized that we could use all of the normal features of Pop It just to build music with. So if you know how to use Pop It, you know how to write music. And then we realized that actually you can use it for gameplay. So if I show you one last clip of a story level, this is actually from the story, but I have it here on my moon so I can show you how it's built. A tiny little sniff of create mode. This is actually built by Christophe, who is a web designer from Paris in our community, and we loved his level so much we hired him. He's actually I think the fourth person we've hired from the LittleBigPlanet 1 community. So he built this level, and when the sequencer went in, he actually decided to rebuild it to help him balance the gameplay. This is actually a top-down racing level. So I'm just going to go up the back route, run to the front. And again, an interesting thing in LittleBigPlanet is there's no option mode, is this a racer, is this a platformer? You can mix and match however you like. So this is a kind of survival challenge. You can play multiplayer cooperatively. And gradually the track gets kind of trickier and trickier. So I'll just take the route up here. You can change the camera angles. You can control like how the vehicle feels using the direct control feature. And a little fiery section, taking a risk going up front here. See if I can worm my way through. And if you notice, the track is being built out of chunks, so if you see the sort of occasional line that's going down, and that's actually really crucial to the way he's built it, and I'll show that to you in a second. So just see if I can get past a slightly harder section. Actually, I'm doing quite well for me, this isn't bad. Okay, so that's a not very good attempt at playing this level, but the question is, how did he build it? And if I go into create mode, do I own all the DLC? Maybe I do. Good. Okay, so this is the level at the beginning. You can see the sack bots are checking me out. And this is the opening with the bounce pads and the animating water, which is really easy to place in the level. Here's the car, or the sort of wormy thing. This is the track, and then mysteriously, about here, it just ends. And the reason for that is because he built the gameplay modularly. He built it out of pieces. So here you can recognize the sort of over bridge section. Here you can see the fiery section. We've got a straight segment. We've got like fiery segments. And then what he did was he took each of those pieces and he placed them onto emitters on a sequencer. So this is the sequencer, which was originally built for music, and I had no idea that it would be used for this kind of evil. He's basically got the progression of the game going from the beginning through to the end, and each of these colours means something to Christophe, the guy who built it. Each one will be a different piece of gameplay. So that's just a really original and inspiring to me use of what essentially is a music tool. So to wrap up, I'm just going to, unfortunately I don't quite have the save game, or... Okay, I'll just do a fast one. I'm just going to do a fast one. So just to explain that sequence a little bit more by way of music, and then I'll wrap up, and I'm not sure how we're doing for time, but thank you Stephen Fry, who's back and narrating as before. So I'm just going to switch background actually, because that's not the most beautiful background in the world. They've got some amazing new backgrounds that we've been working with a group in Guildford called Fireproof Studios, and they've been building some incredible looking backgrounds for us. Okay, so I digress. Let's build a piece of music. You'll be astounded by my musical prowess, I hope. Let's just put down a block. Now, as before, we have licensed tracks, but we also have these new stings, which are great for placing a bit of atmosphere into your level. So, you know, your love theme for when you want to propose, which has actually happened in LittleBigPlanet. But also, excitingly, we have this music sequencer. And at the moment in my inventory, I don't have the pre-made tunes that we'll provide you, because we haven't written them yet, because I need to put this in. Sorry, Siobhan. But the music sequencer is your opportunity to write your own tunes. Okay, so all you need to do is go to all of these instruments we've provided, or take an existing tune and remix it. So in this case, I'm going to crank up the volume quite loud, if that's okay. Hopefully you'll be able to catch this. Okay. So let's take Honky Tonk Piano. And all I do using the traditional Poppet tools, and as I say, anyone who knows how to use Poppet and the 6-axis can do this. You place it down, and now I have a Honky Tonk Piano. So I can sort of put in sort of beautiful. Okay, that'll do. And place that down. Maybe I'll loop it. No, I won't. I have different drum kits. So I have a beatbox kit. That sounds like a perfect accompaniment to a Honky Tonk Piano. So I place that down. So what do I want? Oh, that sounds like a nice kick. So that's not bad. Let's get a snare. What's that? Oh, that's quite a nice, juicy. Okay, let's go one there and there. So hi-hats. And the fun thing is, you don't actually need to be careful here. You can just mess around. I'm actually not paying any attention to what's going on right now. That is music. So as I was saying, it's not just music. So if I just put down maybe a copy of that, so I'll loop it slightly. So I just choose this. I'll make the drums start maybe there, and I'll make the piano play 3 times. So as you can see, if you're not musical, you can just take other people's pieces, other people's patterns, and rearrange them. So you don't have to worry about going into the notes and doing all the detail of the beat making. You can literally go, oh yeah, I really love the riff from that song, so I'll just drag, select, copy those and steal them, or take them, or whatever the creator wants to do when they give it away. So now we have a piece of music, but the awesome part is when you combine it with other gameplay features, ranging from sackbots to anything. So for example, a feature of LittleBigPlanet is a gadget called the object tweakers. This one makes things fiery. So if I place this very traditional old LBP1 effect, I place it on there, it goes fiery. So far, so simple. But where it gets really exciting is the fact that I can take that, cut it off, and put it onto the sequencer. And you can see where this is going. If I start the tune playing, oh, the game's paused. I'll unpause the game, and then I'll play. So you can use that to change the time of day, to trigger voices, to trigger emotional changes in the sackbots. And as a result, our cutscene team are actually rebuilding all the cutscenes using this tool because it's allowed them a lot more flexibility and speed. In fact, the last thing I want to say about Create Mode is when we got some key community members down to test it, they actually said it was easier than before. The biggest payoff for these new features for them was that in a day they could do what would have taken them a week. So what I'm hoping is the best creators are going to spend the other 4 days of their week finessing and balancing and getting their levels to a whole level of polish that we've never really seen in LBP1. So when you're writing about or thinking about all these new features in LBP2, sometimes they can seem intimidating or fragmentary or just a total brainfuck. But what's great is that actually they speed up the process of creation. If you want to put a character in your level, a sackbot is now 1 click. Make him flee, make him angry, that's like 5 clicks, and you've got a character. In LittleBigPlanet 1, that would have taken cardboard, some motors, and about 20 minutes of faffing around. So the real key here is that although it's familiar to LBP1 techniques, the sort of bang for buck and the payoff is way more. So that's LittleBigPlanet, that's the music sequencer, and I hope that that gives you a taste of what's possible, and the story mode which will provide the inspiration to you and everyone else to create great games in LittleBigPlanet. So thank you very much.